Stereotypes. I am sure that everyone, at least once in their lives, have either been stereotyped or has been guilty of stereotyping someone. Unfortunately, with today's society, it is easier and easier to be guilty of stereotyping other people. We may not intentionally mean to do this, but it happens nonetheless. I am guilty of it, as well as being stereotyped. I am unfortunately disabled, and because of the type of diseases that I have, people automatically assume that I do not have anything wrong with me and I'm just being lazy. That's what we like to call an invisible disease. There are so many people in the world that have what is called an invisible disease. We are always told, you look fine, there's nothing wrong with you, or it's all in your head. For us, it is not in our heads, nor are we fine. For me, I suffer from excruciating pain daily. I have learned to live with the pain because nothing seems to help lessen the pain. My doctors are trying to figure out the best treatment plan for me, but it is hard when you try so many different meds and combination of meds that you get discouraged. According to Oxford.com, stereotype is classified as a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing, basically meaning that people seem to fixate on a description of a person or group of people that is inaccurate. Some people believe that everyone with a tattoo is a bad person or has been to prison. That may have been the case at one point in time in our history, but that is totally inaccurate, not the case anymore. Added some words there. Another type of stereotyping includes men being the only ones that should work. Women should have to stay home and be in the kitchen. I have always had a problem with that statement. Another example, and these come from examples.yourdictionary.com stereotype examples.html. That's a mouthful. Women aren't as smart as men. Well, we all know that to be incorrect. There are so many different intelligent women out there that do not get the credit or recognition they deserve because they are a woman. I have been watching a series on Netflix called Fastest Car, and the two most recent episodes I watched had some very arrogant men on there saying that women should not be racing. They should be in the kitchen cooking. People like this upset me so much. Both the guys got beat, by the way. There are so many different types of stereotypes out there. Another one would be that all Mexicans came to the US illegally. I know that not all are here illegally, and they fought hard to get their citizenship, and those people I applaud. The ones that do come over illegally and cannot speak English are the ones that I have a hard time feeling sorry for when they get caught and deported. If you plan on coming over here, at least learn to speak the language of those of us who cannot speak the other language can communicate. Unfortunately, I know that I may be wrong in that thinking, but I used to work at Walmart in the Tire Loop and Express, and it made things so difficult not being able to communicate because they could not speak English. And it's not just Mexicans, it's everyone that cannot speak the language. It just makes things so difficult and unfortunately very awkward. I could go on about all the different types of stereotypes, and I will go on some more. I have experienced my share of stereotypes through life. I have been called a gang member because I listened to the band Insane Clown Posse, because the FBI deemed a few bad people that listen to ICP criminals, and that all people who listen to ICP are now classified as a gang. Ooh, that is one of the stupidest stereotypes I've had to endure. As I said earlier in my paper, I have been accused of being lazy because when I go to Walmart, I use one of their little motorized carts and put around, because I cannot walk for long distances because of my diseases. I guess I should explain what my diseases are. Yeah, diseases are. Sorry. I have small fiber neuropathy, which affects the small nerves of my body and then starts to affect all the nerves of my body. It causes numbness, tingling, itching when nothing is there, severe pain, as well as many other things. It is really interesting to have your feet be numb, but at the same time in excruciating pain. The most god awful weird feeling. Anyway, I also have what is called functional neurological disorder. This affects my brain and causes so many issues like lack of balance, confusion, forgetfulness, as well as so many other things. I also have arthritis throughout my body, fibromyalgia, as well as a few other things. All of these affect the inside of my body because they cannot be seen. I am always told I am faking or that it is all in my head. That being said, one stereotype that I have found to be one that has lingered through time, especially here in America, is that of African Americans. There are so many people that feel that African Americans are just here for a free ride. That is not the case at all. Granted, there are some that are here just for a free ride and lazy, but there are so many that work hard for what they have. They struggle from paycheck to paycheck like the rest of us. That is one stereotype that I wish would go away because I personally know several African Americans that work very hard for what they have. They provide a stable environment for their children and they are not out selling drugs or using drugs. They are just so many people throughout the world that feel this way. It is sad. It is sad that a stereotype falls on a group of people, and it is so hard to get away from it, no matter how hard they try and show that they are not like the average person. In our books, it has a cartoon about two kids. One is white, one is Hispanic, and the white kid basically says to the Hispanic kid that his dad can't say whatever, or his dad can say whatever he wants as long as it's in English. And then he proceeds to go on and say that's really arrogant and stupid and racist and everything. I know earlier I went on about this kind of thing. If you are in your home, speak whatever language you want, even if it is made up. But people, especially in a professional setting, try and speak the language of the mass, just so there is no confusion, no misunderstanding, no miscommunication. I hope this does not come out as rude or hypocritical. Just coming from a customer service standpoint, being able to speak the language of the country is very helpful in making sure that there are no misunderstandings in the long run. It seems as though stereotypes come into play with all kinds of communication, whether it be nonverbal, verbal, between cultures. Being able to get past stereotypes would probably be a good thing for everyone. It would make communicating easier. You wouldn't have a perceived conception about somebody. I have tattoos, piercings, I have blue hair. See, it's kind of turned green now, but anyway. When people first start talking to me, they are intimidated by me because they see one thing, then get to know the real me, and are totally surprised. It makes for interesting conversation, especially when they come and say, I thought you were different than what you really are. My stepson's friends say that I look really mean and intimidating, which is kind of funny, but I kind of play around with that because, yeah, anyway. Oh, it's funny. It is so funny when people tell me they didn't want to talk to me at first, but then once they did, they are glad they did. It comes down to saying, don't judge a book by its cover. You may be surprised what you find in someone. Stereotypes have huge impacts on communication, and that comes into play when negotiating a business deal. If you are dealing with a woman, then you may think she may not be as smart as she actually is. Or if you're dealing with a black man, oh, that you can pull one. Oh, I can't even read my own typing here. Anyway, that you can pull one over on him because he is uneducated. These are usually totally wrong. Then you end up looking like a fool, and those people may take their business elsewhere because you thought they were something they are not. My stepson has issues in school with stereotyping. Just because he may walk a certain way or have certain friends, they made fun of he gets made fun of and bullied because they are judging him based on his looks and things like that. They don't take the time to get to know the real person that he actually is. Some of this, I will say, is his fault because he doesn't try to open up and show people the real person he is, but we are all guilty of that at some point in our life. I know I am. It took me many years to be able to be just who I am and not care what people say or judge me. Life is too short to really care what people think of you. At times it can be difficult, especially in a job setting, but if you are going to talk no matter what, oh, but people are going to talk no matter what. Man, I'm screwing this up. It is inevitable that people will judge and talk and think what they want to think about you. Yay! Unfortunately, I didn't have 6 people, 5 people, how many ever people to be able to do this in front of. So my wife's sitting right over here. Yay! So I got one person. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed and see you next time.